Alright guys, so I'm going to show you what you need to do to swap out your RT brakes for the SRT 6-piston Brembos. This side's done obviously, but we're going to go over here. Once you got the wheel off, if you plan on keeping your stock factory brake line, what we're going to do is get a bucket. You're going to unbolt this here. It is a 15mm bolt. Once you unbolt that, some brake fluid's gonna start coming out, so make sure you got a bucket and some cardboard down to catch it. Try not to get it on any paint or anything because it will eat it. So we're gonna do that. So we got that unbolted and it's draining out, so we're gonna let that drain. Once that's finished draining, we're gonna come over back here. We're gonna unbolt the bracket, caliper bracket, and it'll take the caliper with it all at once. With this bolt here, and then that one right down, come around here, right there, that one there. And these use a 5/8, but it's got to be a 12 point, or a 6 point won't work, so it's got to be a 12.5/8. I used a 5/8 12 point with a 1/2 inch and then a 1/2 inch breaker bar to get it off, because you will need a breaker bar. Because like I said, this one, that one right down there, they're hard to get off. Alright guys, once those two bolts are out, the whole caliper and bracket come off, and then all you got left is the rotor. So what we're going to do, there's a little rubber ring right there. You're just going to use a little screwdriver, pry that off, and then the rotor will come off. You might have to hammer it, beat it around here a little bit just to break it loose, because it does get stuck from rust and whatnot. And you're going to save these two bolts because you'll be using those to bolt the new caliper back up. Alright, here's the rubber ring, that's off. Now we can take the rotor off. Alright, a few taps with the hammer, rotor is off. Now we can put the new rotor on and the new caliper. Alright guys, real quick, I'm going to show you the new caliper. And I got the brake pads installed already. It's easier to install them off of with the caliper off of the vehicle. But here, I'll give you a little lowdown here. We're gonna have to pull this little plug out. That's where the brake line's gonna mount. Now, I do have stainless steel brake lines, but I'll get into what happened. I messed up the one there. The actual brake line that's attached to the vehicle that these connect to, so I wasn't able to use them on that side, and I just figured it's easier just to keep the standard brake lines. So anyways, what you're going to do is you're just going to slide the pads in, make sure the holes in the pads are up, facing up, and once you slide them in, it comes with these pins. You're going to slide the pin through, and you'll slide it through on one side all the way through so that it holds everything together, and then you'll need to tap this with a hammer. You can see I kind of missed a little bit, but until it's pretty much flush in there, it'll be sticking out a little bit and you'll see a little black grommet, but you'll need to tap it till it's flush, and then grab the rattle clip, or the clip, whatever you want to call it, put it under here over top of this pin that comes with the caliper, and then it'll be sitting right here. You'll have to push it down and then put the pin through here while pushing this down all the way through to kind of hold it together. That keeps everything in here tight. So now we'll grab the new rotor, spray it off with some brake clean, just to get all the coating and stuff off, and then we'll slap it on. Alright, so we got the new rotor on. We're going to put this rubber ring in here, and it basically holds the rotor on while you do everything else. Alright, that is all on, and make sure when you're looking that you put it the right side, rotor on the right side of the vehicle. It does matter because of these slots and stuff. So now that the rubber grommet's on, it's holding this on. Now we can bolt the caliper up. Alright guys, caliper's bolted back on. So you literally just use those two same bolts that were on the original brakes. You don't use the bracket. That's why we just took the bracket and old caliper off altogether. The new caliper has a like integrated bracket, so just bolts right up there. You see how much better it looks. But it's literally extremely easy. Now all we got to do is put the brake line back right there, tighten it up, we're good to go. I mean, we'll have to, you know, bleed the brakes, add more fluid and whatnot, but that's it, and that's how easy it is.